From NASDAQ's MarketSite, I'm your host, Christina Ayanian. And joining me today is CEO of Anaplan, Charlie Gottdiener. Charlie, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks
Welcome.
for having me, Christina.
Now, for those who don't know, tell me about Anaplan and what the company does.
Sure. So Anaplan is a cloud-based SaaS platform. We were born in the cloud, native to the cloud. And what we do is we help companies make more informed and effective decisions. We call that decision excellence. It's a term that we've coined over time. And pragmatically speaking, we help people or companies plan their supply chains, do financial planning, plan their workforces, and plan their sales programs. So that's what we do, and then we can integrate all those siloed plans into an enterprise view. So it gives them insight, gives CEOs, CFOs, C-level executives insight across their businesses, and companies like NVIDIA and Microsoft, Amazon, and many other big brands that your audience would have heard of use Anaplan for these kinds of decisions.
So how do companies use Anaplan in order to make more strategic business decisions?
So they use it to plan their supply chain. So let me give you an example of supply chain usage. So if I'm a company and I'm planning my supply chain, I have to figure out how much demand, customer demand I have. At the same time, I also need to figure out how much inventory I need to build. And so a company will dynamically plan around the insights they get from our platform. And so planning is kind of a dated term, right? You think of planning as this annual thing that companies do. Well, in the supply chain example, we have companies that are planning their supply chains every hour because the dynamics are changing, the demand patterns are changing, the inventory, something might have been bought in a certain distribution center or a certain geography, and now it's running out, so I may have to ship more inventory there. So it's very dynamic. We have some very big fashion houses that are on Anaplan, and they won't ship anything overnight out of their local airport without running scenarios on our platform. So we really think about ourselves as a scenario planning and analysis platform because people are constantly running scenarios, what if scenarios, to get more insight.
It seems like Anaplan is evolving as the current environment is evolving. You were a publicly traded company. Thoma Bravo took you private, brought you on 3 years ago. How has the company changed since then?
That's a big question and a long answer, but I'll try to make it short. So when we took the company private, there were a couple of context points that people should understand. So the first is we were about a $600 million ARR company. And now we're over $1 billion, really approaching $1.2 billion. So the size of the company has changed pretty dramatically. What we knew at the time of the take private was that Anaplan's innovation wasn't keeping up with the market. And so the strategy that drove the growth of the company was really to invest heavily behind innovation. And so we announced a $500 million investment program over 3 years behind innovation in 3 areas. One was just to make our core technology better, so that was the first area. The second area was to build out applications that allowed our customers to get more value out of our platform faster. So this out-of-the-box functionality in areas like supply chain or workforce planning or financial planning. And then the third area, of course, is a big investment in AI. And so we do a lot with AI now. We've had a history in AI, but we've obviously accelerated that program as AI has advanced in the world.
And so going off of your point, it seems like AI is really embedded in your genes in today's day and age. What is your AI strategy?
Okay. So we started out, like most companies like us, doing forecasting and optimization with AI. And where we've taken AI is we've adopted generative AI capabilities. We have our capability we call Co-Planner that allows people to engage with our platform in a conversational way. And our newest innovation is really around something we call role-based agents. So an example of a role-based agent, and we call these analysts, would be a finance analyst. So if I'm the head of financial planning or the CFO, I have plenty of analysts. They're usually human beings in my organization. Today we have role-based agents that augment the finance analysts that somebody might have in their organization. It makes their job easier. So they can answer questions that a finance analyst would answer and then take some action. So we have a role-based agent in finance, we have one in supply chain, we have one in workforce planning, we have one in sales performance management. And so that's been a big area of innovation for us, and it allows our customers to be more productive with the platform and get more insight.
You really offer that holistic end-to-end solution, it sounds like.
We do.
So what comes next?
So I would say more of the same. So we'll continue to advance our AI strategy. We're now working on autonomous agents. So one of the things that we do is we bring in a tremendous amount of data to our platform, and data changes, right? So if the patterns of the data change, it would be very hard for a human being to see that. But an agent could see that. And that might actually be really important for decisions somebody makes. So they get proactive insight into the changes of the data rather than seeing the result after it happens. And so we have an agent we're building on that and many other autonomous agents. So the AI strategy continues to evolve and will continue to evolve. And as our, it's the biggest technology innovation recently in our lifetimes. And I think it's going to continue to have a profound impact on business. And then our application strategy is relatively new. We've got 25 applications that we'll have built by the end of the year, but that's going to be expanded dramatically. So I would expect us to have 50 by the end of the following year. We've enabled our partner ecosystem to build applications. So that will start to accelerate in its growth. So I would say more of the same.
Well, we are very much looking forward to following. Charlie, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.